Welcome to Bedtime Astronomy. Explore the wonders of the cosmos with our soothing Bedtime Astronomy podcast. Each episode offers a gentle journey through the stars, planets, and beyond, perfect for unwinding after a long day. Let's travel through the mysteries of the universe as you drift off into a peaceful slumber under the night sky. Animals, the first astronauts, pioneers of space exploration. The history of space exploration is often told through the lens of human achievements, from the first satellite to manned moon landings. However, before humans could brave the vast expanse of space, animals paved the way. These early spacefarers, sent into the unknown, provided critical data that helped scientists understand the effects of space travel on living organisms. This narrative delves into the fascinating stories of these pioneering animals, highlighting their contributions to our journey beyond Earth. The concept of sending living organisms into space began in the early days of rocketry. Scientists were acutely aware of the potential dangers posed by space travel and needed to gather data on how living beings would fare in such an environment. The first animals to be launched into space were fruit flies, sent aboard a US-launched V-2 rocket on February 20, 1947. These humble insects were chosen because of their genetic similarities to humans and their rapid reproduction rates, which allowed scientists to study potential genetic mutations caused by exposure to cosmic radiation. The fruit fly mission was a success, marking the beginning of a series of animal experiments in space. The data gathered from these missions confirmed that exposure to cosmic radiation did not cause immediate harm to the fruit flies, paving the way for more ambitious missions involving larger animals. In the 1950s, both the United States and the Soviet Union began launching mammals into space. The Soviets, in particular, made significant strides in this area. They chose dogs as their test subjects due to their loyalty, trainability, and resilience. The first dog to make a suborbital flight was Dzik, accompanied by another dog, Saigon, on July 22, 1951. Both dogs returned safely, providing invaluable data on the physical effects of space travel. However, the most famous canine cosmonaut was Laika, a stray dog from the streets of Moscow. Launched aboard Sputnik 2 on November 3, 1957, Laika became the first animal to orbit the Earth. Unfortunately, the technology to safely return from orbit had not yet been developed, and Laika perished due to overheating and stress after a few hours. Despite this tragic outcome, Laika's mission provided critical data on the effects of space travel on living organisms and demonstrated that life could withstand the rigors of space for at least a short period. In the United States, the focus was primarily on primates due to their close genetic relationship to humans. The first American primate to reach space was Albert I, a rhesus monkey, launched aboard a V-2 rocket on June 11, 1948. Unfortunately, the mission was unsuccessful, as the rocket failed before reaching space. Subsequent missions with Albert II and other primates, however, achieved greater success, with Albert II becoming the first monkey to reach space on June 14, 1949. One of the most notable American primate astronauts was Ham, a chimpanzee trained to operate simple controls. On January 31, 1961, Ham was launched aboard a Mercury Redstone rocket, successfully performing his tasks during the flight. Ham's mission demonstrated that trained animals could perform in space, bolstering confidence in the feasibility of human spaceflight. Ham's successful return paved the way for Alan Shepard's historic manned flight just a few months later. While dogs and primates were the primary animal astronauts, other species also played critical roles in space research. For instance, mice and rats were frequently used to study the effects of microgravity on biological processes. These small rodents provided insights into muscle atrophy, bone density loss, and other physiological changes experienced in the weightless environment of space. Cats also made their mark in the annals of space exploration. On October 18, 1963, a French cat named Félicette became the first and only feline to be sent into space. Launched aboard a Véronique AG-1 rocket, Félicette's mission aimed to study the effects of space travel on the brain. Electrodes implanted in her brain transmitted neurological data back to Earth, providing valuable information for scientists. Félicette's mission was successful, and she returned safely, becoming a symbol of scientific curiosity and exploration. In addition to vertebrates, invertebrates like spiders and worms were also sent into space. In 1973, aboard the Skylab 3 mission, 2 garden spiders named Arabella and Anita were sent to study how microgravity affected their web-building abilities. The experiment revealed that the spiders could adapt to the weightless environment, although their webs were more irregular compared to those spun on Earth. Worms, particularly the nematode Cenorhabditis elegans, have been extensively studied in space due to their simple biology and ease of cultivation. These tiny creatures have provided insights into genetic, cellular, and developmental processes in space, contributing to our understanding of how microgravity affects living organisms at a fundamental level. As space exploration advanced, so did the complexity of the biological experiments conducted in space. In 1973, Skylab 4, the last mission of the Skylab program, carried a variety of animals, including mice, fish, and insects, to study the long-term effects of microgravity. These experiments provided crucial data on how prolonged exposure to space affects physiology, development, and behavior. The Space Shuttle program, which began in the 1980s, continued the tradition of sending animals into space for scientific research. The Spacelab missions, in particular, conducted numerous biological experiments. For example, Spacelab 3, launched in 1985, included a payload of Japanese quail eggs to study avian development and microgravity. The experiment aimed to understand how space travel affects reproduction and development in birds. The International Space Station, ISS, a joint project involving multiple space agencies, has become a hub for biological research in space. Since the early 2000s, the ISS has hosted a wide range of animal experiments, including studies on rodents, fish, and insects. These experiments have provided valuable data on the long-term effects of microgravity on health, behavior, and development, informing future human space exploration missions. One notable experiment involved the study of mice aboard the ISS. Researchers investigated the effects of microgravity on bone density, muscle mass, and immune function in mice. providing insights into the health challenges faced by astronauts during extended space missions. These findings are crucial for developing countermeasures to mitigate the adverse effects of long-duration spaceflight on human health. Fish have also been valuable subjects in space research. Zebrafish, a small freshwater fish, have been used to study the effects of microgravity on bone development, muscle growth, and cardiovascular function. Zebrafish are ideal for these studies due to their transparent embryos and rapid development, allowing scientists to observe and analyze biological processes in real time. Beyond vertebrates, invertebrates continue to play a significant role in space research. Fruit flies, for example, have been used in numerous experiments aboard the ISS to study genetic and developmental changes in response to space conditions. These studies help researchers understand how space travel affects biological systems at a molecular level, providing insights into potential genetic adaptations and the mechanisms underlying physiological changes. In recent years, the focus of space research has expanded to include studies on the microbiome, the community of microorganisms that live in and on the bodies of living organisms. The Microbial Tracking 1 experiment, conducted aboard the ISS, aimed to study how the space environment affects the microbial populations of astronauts and their surroundings. This research is critical for understanding the potential health risks posed by microbial changes during space travel and for developing strategies to maintain a healthy microbiome in space habitats. The contributions of animals to space exploration extend beyond scientific research. They have also played a role in inspiring public interest and support for space missions. The stories of pioneering animals like Laika, Ham, and Felicette have captured the imagination of people worldwide, highlighting the challenges and triumphs of early space exploration. Moreover, the ethical considerations surrounding the use of animals in space research have prompted important discussions about animal welfare and the responsibilities of scientists. The sacrifice of animals like Laika, who did not survive their missions, has led to a greater emphasis on humane treatment and the development of protocols to ensure the well-being of animal subjects in space research. The legacy of animals in space continues to shape the future of space exploration. As humanity prepares for ambitious missions to Mars and beyond, the lessons learned from animal experiments will be crucial in addressing the challenges of long-duration space travel. The knowledge gained from studying animals in space will inform the development of life support systems, countermeasures for physiological changes, and strategies for maintaining physical and mental health during extended missions. In conclusion, animals have played an indispensable role in the history of space exploration. From the first fruit flies and dogs to the more recent studies on rodents, fish, and invertebrates, these pioneering spacefarers have provided invaluable data that has shaped our understanding of the effects of space travel on living organisms. Their contributions have paved the way for human spaceflight, informed the development of countermeasures to mitigate the adverse effects of space travel, and inspired public interest and support for space missions. As we venture further into the cosmos, the legacy of these early animal astronauts will continue to guide and inspire us on our journey beyond Earth.